The American Pickers celebrity John Slazay, popularly known as Jersey John, has blown the minds of his admirers with an antique that many of them have stated they had only seen in museums before. On his Instagram feed, the History Channel fan favorite posted a picture of the Indian Motorcycle Company motor that was in excellent condition and about 100 years old. The post that John posted on Thursday included a slideshow of photographs that displayed the silver-colored motor, which was manufactured between the years 1929 and 1930. This was an outboard motor, which is a type of propulsion system for boats. Although the Indian Motor Company was best known for producing motorcycles, this was an outboard motor. A photograph revealed that the logo of the boat motor had not been damaged in any way. On the other hand, it was obvious that the instructions for lubrication and starting cold motor were all inscribed on them. Due to the fact that almost all of the writing was legible, it was a very Instagram-worthy piece. Did you know that the Indian Motorcycle Company made outboard motors? The article was captioned by John. Indeed, they did it. This Survivor is the nicest original paint motor I've ever seen, and it's offered for sale. However, only serious inquiries will be considered. They only produced 150 of these vehicles in 1929 and 1930. Extremely great. Fans were ecstatic by the revelation, and they swamped the comments area with their enthusiasm. In the first place, another fan commented that they thought it was something from the Star Wars franchise. "Wow, it's really cool." Another person wrote, "I've always hoped that I'll chance upon one." "That is absolutely incredible," a third person wrote. "There is one in a museum on Vancouver Island, British Columbia." The fourth person wrote, "Very cool." Jersey State. John, who was born and raised in New Jersey, began making appearances on the show during the 7th season, and rapidly became a fan favorite due to the extensive information he possessed. During the month of December in the year 2023, it was disclosed that he would be joining the show's cast on a permanent basis. The new Pickers. According to a recent announcement made by Mike Wolfe, the main character of American Pickers, new episodes are going to be released, so fans of the show should mark their calendars. According to Wolfe, the latest episodes of the legendary reality show are scheduled to make their debut in October of 2024. Mike, who was the creator of the show that made its debut in 2010, quietly communicated the good news in the comments section of his Instagram account that he had created. In response to one of his photos, a fan had left a remark in his letter. The announcement comes after the show had been absent for a considerable amount of time, leaving viewers eagerly anticipating its return. American Pickers follows Wolfe and his team as they travel around the United States in quest of rare antiques. They investigate dusty garages, attics, and barns for pieces of history. In the beginning, Wolfe and Danielle Colby were the co-hosts of the show alongside Frank Fritz for a period of 10 years. However, Fritz abruptly departed the show in the year 2020 without providing any reasonable explanation. There was a connection between Frank's health and his decision to leave the show. It was found that he suffered from Crohn's disease and had a stroke in 2022, in addition to the problems he was having with his back. It was because of this terrible circumstance that he was momentarily restricted to a wheelchair. Having said that, Frank disclosed his feud with Mike, who was his co-star at the time, during an interview with the United States Sun in 2021. According to Frank, "I haven't spoken to Mike in the past 2 years. Despite the fact that he was aware that my back was infected, he did not call me to inquire about how I was doing. But that is the way things are. Everything is stacked in his favor 100% of the time. For the sake of demonstrating how much, I can't even bend down that far." Okay, that's all right. The situation is similar to that of Aerosmith, with Steven Tyler serving as the band's frontman in this case. "I found my place on the show. I'm currently in second place, just behind him. I don't have a problem with it. but it's possible that he does have a problem. In fact, he went so far as to state, "I believe Mike is trying to get his brother Robbie in there to have me replaced. I am really perplexed as to why he is acting in such a manner toward me." When Frank, then 58 years old, suffered a stroke in July 2022, he was admitted to the hospital for a few days. The information was posted on Instagram by Mike, who was a friend and former co-star of his. "Over the course of the past year, I have maintained a high level of discretion with regard to Frank's life and the path he has traveled. Despite the fact that there have been a lot of different perspectives regarding the program and the friendship between Frank and I, the moment has not yet come to set the record right. The time has come for me to pray for my friend," the Picker star stated in his letter. Frank is currently being treated in the hospital after suffering a stroke. "We ask that you continue to keep him in your thoughts and hearts." In addition, Mike expressed his affection for Frank and said that he was praying for him to make it through this difficult time. After only a few months had passed since his stroke, he was admitted to the hospital once more when he began to have seizures and pneumonia. In September of 2022, Frank was placed under a conservatorship since he was unable to take care of himself. This conservatorship is still in effect over the present time. In a recent interview with the United States Sun, a source stated that Frank is doing well in terms of his health. The source stated, "Frank has been good, been eating ice cream and watching the Olympics." Since 2020, viewers have expressed their dissatisfaction with his absence, stating that the show is not the same without him, and the numbers have reflected this sentiment. When Wolf responded to a recent comment made by another Instagram user, he brought attention to Fritz's participation to the program. "We miss Frank, and there is nothing that can ever take his place. This is very similar to what you all do," Wolf stated.